Well, good morning and welcome to the Saturday morning ritual. I'm Deanna. I'm your host for today, and I'm so excited to be here. Hmm. Are you excited to be here? Are you excited? So good to see everybody. It feels like it's been weeks and weeks and weeks, but I think it was one, maybe was it 2 weeks? Was it more than one? I don't even know. Anyway, I'm so happy. I'm happy that you are here and yeah, so today it's Saturday morning ritual. So we're talking about things like being bored. My finger's getting long. Talking about being bored. What happens when you get bored with something? What do you do? Let me know in the chat. Say hello. Hi, Cheryl. Hi, Misty. Let me know. What do you do when you get bored with something? What do you do when you get bored with something? Do you stop watching it? Do you put it down? Do you forget about it? Do you not do it anymore? Today, we're talking about boredom and we're exploring ways that boredom gets in the way of you achieving your weight loss goals and what you can do about it. So let's dive into the Saturday morning ritual. I try to make this a Saturday morning ritual. I really, really do try to make this a ritual. That's something that I do. You often quit things that are boring. Yes, we all often quit things that are boring. So we'll get to that. As I say, when I was a kid, my Saturday mornings were different, Saturday morning cartoons, and they've evolved over the years. And now I try to have my Saturday mornings include a ritual of doing a review of the week before and planning for the week ahead. Just kind of a time to hit the reset button and focus on those goals. So this is a place where you can do that too. You can celebrate your successes. You just have community all around you. It helps with, your self-awareness and just all of the wonderful things. But before we get started, of course, we have to move our bodies because why? Why do we move our bodies? Because the brain and the body are connected. Whenever our body is awake, our brain is awake, and I want your brain to be awake for today. And I also think that your body needs to be awake. Hopefully, you've already done not hopefully, everybody's different. So I'm not going to, judge anybody who gets up late on a Saturday morning. But hopefully you're a little bit awake. Hopefully you've done a few things, a couple of things, 2 things maybe. I don't know, maybe the list is 10. I have had a productive, eventful morning already. So anyway, it's time for the brain body connection. So get up, move in whatever way feels good to you. Stretch your limbs out, get that heartbeat pumping, whatever it is, whatever feels good. I'm going to do whatever I'm going to do, and you're going to do whatever you're going to do. But hopefully you don't just sit there because that would make me so sad. So sad. So don't make me sad.
I'm saying let's go. You're saying maybe. Let's find a disco. You're stuck at home being so lazy. Hey. Give me some, give me some, give me some, give me some, give me some energy. Wanna come, wanna come, wanna come, wanna come, wanna come dance with me. Give me some, give me some, give me some, give me some, give me some energy. Wanna come, wanna come, wanna come, wanna come, wanna come dance with me. There's no fire without smoke, I ain't letting you go. I can see you buzzing like you can't say no. There's no fire without smoke, I ain't letting you go. Come on, let yourself be free. Be the best that you can be. Come move your body. Come move your body. Only settle for the best. Live your life with no regrets. Come move your body. Come move your body.
All right. I'm back. I am back. Hello. So moving your body. Last weekend on Friday, I went out and then I was out and about into a new place that was different. And there was a pair of stairs that weren't very well lit. And I missed the bottom step and kind of, sort of, and my foot just slipped and hurt. It was just immediate pain. Ow. Oh my God. Please stop staring at me, people, because that's embarrassing, you know? Oh my God. It hurt so bad. I could barely stand up. I could barely stand up. And I hobbled like away from the stairwell because I didn't want to be blocking the stairwell. And hobbled over and I'm like trying to gain my composure, just like, oh my God. Thankfully, my husband was out. He was out in the car. He was like, I'll be in a minute. I'm going to do blah, blah, blah. And he was waiting for me in the car. And I texted him. I'm like, I just fell and I don't know. I'm like, I'm just trying to figure this out right now. So, so I sat there for a minute and finally I was like, okay, I think I can maybe walk. I don't know. I'm not sure. So I tried to, walk a little bit. I'm like, okay, I can walk a little bit. So I had to go up those stairs. That was a terrible part. I had to go back up the stairs, down the street to the car. I just hobbled the whole way, and then on the way home, my foot, I was wincing. I was crying. It was a mess. It was a mess. It hurt so bad. It hurt so bad. So I got home, I got some ice and everything. A week later, and my foot is still bothering me. A week later, it's not good. So that whole movement thing, I tried to do 3 different things, and each one I was like, oh, you can't do that. Oh, you can't do that. So I can walk Loki, and I can walk, but I forget a lot because it's getting better each day. It's getting a lot better. But I keep forgetting what I can and can't do. So then I'll just like move wrong or get up too fast or something, and I'll be like, oh, stupid foot. But I'm healing. I'm good. And now Loki's better. Loki's like, I want to go for longer walks, and I'm so excited and all this stuff. And I'm like, but now I can't walk. Now I look like, I'm limping down the street. So fun, exciting stuff. So how do you feel? This is a big question. How do you feel about the exercise that is currently in your life? Do you love it? Do you look forward to it? Is it energizing? Is it exciting? Or not? How do you feel about the exercise that's currently in your life? So when Cheryl gets bored with something, she moves on to something else. Yep. It's like, oh, so boring. Whatever. Got to move on to something else. I'm bored with this, That boredom, we're going to talk about this a lot. My nose itches. I'm so sorry. We're going to talk about this a lot today about being bored, but your exercise can become stale. Your exercise can become boring. It can become too monotonous, too routine, too much of a chore at a time, instead of something that, that is awesome and exciting and something you look forward to. We're going to get into that. But first, does anybody with us today have any victories? I love victories. Anybody have any victories that you would like to share with us today? Anything? Cheryl, you have some big victories. You are doing so good. Cheryl has to learn how to take care of her husband. And she's doing it's a lot of medical stuff. And she's doing a good job. And I'm sorry if I shared too much. It's not my place to say, but she's doing really, really good. And I'm proud of her for everything that she's learning and how hard she's trying and the effort that she's put into the work. So, it does make fun things hard, and it does make alternatives hard to find too. It's so hard. Because I'm like, I want to go do this, and I want to go do that, but then I can't, and I'm like sad. So, yeah, and then last weekend, because I did it on a Friday, and normally I go to the store on Saturday, and my husband is a procrastinate. Like I will procrastinate doing grocery shopping until there's nothing left in the pantry except for crackers type person. So my normal, like, I like to have the fridge stocked with all the foods and all the good stuff to eat and everything. And he has kind of like a different plan. So it's like, um, it's hard because, I'm like, hey, can we go do this? It's really important to me. And, I don't want to feel like I'm nagging or anything like that. So it can be, it was difficult. It was difficult to ask for help too. I am not good at asking for help. Oh my gosh. It was kind of funny. It was hilarious because we got home and I was like, could I trouble you to get me some ice for my foot and some ibuprofen? Like, I'm like seriously putting him like way, inconveniencing him. And it shouldn't be like that, right? I shouldn't do that. I needed something. I shouldn't feel bad for asking for what I need, right? I mean, it was very eye-opening to me. I was like, oh my God, do I always do this? Like, that's just crazy, 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 crazy. Something to work on for sure. So, any victories? I was looking for victories and I took my glasses off. Oh, you asked for help when you needed it. That's what you were talking about for your victory. You did. You did. I was able to put both needles in by herself. That was her big thing. And she said it wasn't oversharing. So, yay. Thank God. Okay. I successfully successed. I don't know what I did excellently. I didn't really think about my victories before we came on today, so I don't have any to share with you. I don't. I don't. I don't ask for help. I don't ask for help at work. I don't ask for help in my home. I don't ask for help. What I'm learning was that was like what I learned whenever I was a small kid is that you don't cause trouble. You don't be seen. You don't be heard. You don't nothing. You just take care of stuff yourself. But wasn't always a good thing. Anyway, enough about me. Let's talk about fun stuff. So, how would you describe your week? Was it the same old, same old? Was it pretty routine? Was it unusual? Was it fun? Was it scary? Was it hard? How would you describe your week this week? Any of those things come out? We're gonna play the little and go about it, and we'll be back in just a second.
I'm taking. I will be there to pick you up, even if you can't let go. I'll untie the invisible rope.
Blah 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 blah. Did I like skip over it? Like no, blah. I'm fast forwarding because I know you guys don't journal, so what's the point? Everybody, if you're watching the replay, take this time to journal. Journal about your fun week that you had. How did you feel about it? What kind of week was it? Blah 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 blah. Do all that fun stuff. I'm just fast forwarding this little clippy thing here. Blah blah blah. Okay. And now that we are finally okay. I just wanted to fast forward for you guys because get the journaling prompts. Journal on your own time. That's what I'm saying today. I'm saying journal on your own time. Yeah. Do what I want. Mentally exhausting. That's why you ask for help. Mm. This isn't the DNS psychiatry hour. I asked for help at work. I did. Can you please help me with this? Well, it never got done. Got put under the rug. Then somebody comes asking me about it. What happened to blah, blah, blah? It's like, either I do it or it doesn't get done the way I want it to get done. So I don't ask for help because nobody's going to do it to win and to my satisfaction. So, but Misty, you did a fine job getting me ice. No, I wasn't talking about you. I was talking about other people. You did a great job getting me ice. It was perfect. Anyway, today we're talking about. I got. I miss you guys. Hi, how are you? Glad you're here. I'm glad you're watching. Thank you. I love you. Weight loss can become. It can be a bad habit in itself. It can be a routine. Now, stay with me here while I kind of explain what I'm trying to say here. So, diet companies, they know that weight loss can become a bad habit and also a routine. So, at certain times of the year, what they like to do is they like to spend how much money they spend on ads. And that just reinforces your bad habit. So, with habits, if you guys remember from all the times I always talk about habits all the freaking time, I talk about them. There's, with a habit, there's a cue, and then there's your response to the cue, and then there's a reward that's associated with it. So if you think about this a little bit, you're on a diet. You quit your diet. You're at the end of the cycle, okay? And your reward for that is you don't have to think about food. You don't have to think about exercise. You don't have to think about all that stuff. And it's, you feel so whatever. Maybe you quit because your losses weren't as big as they once were. Maybe it was maybe you quit because you hit goal, but you've seen and you didn't think you needed to do all these things anymore. But since then things have changed. So anyway, it doesn't matter what the reason is that you quit, but then you see these ads and that cues the cycle over again. Do you find yourself at certain times of year, that's when you pick your diet back up? Do you find yourself at certain points in your life that you're in this diet cycle of start, stop, start, stop, start, stop? It's very common for a lot of people to get in a start, stop cycle until they finally get to the last one and they break the pattern. They break the pattern. And that's what we all want to do is quit the pattern. I know a lot of thin people that are constantly on the diet cycle. Certain times of the year mean it's feeding time, and then other times of the year mean it's restriction time. And they just live in this cycle of binge, restrict, binge, restrict, binge, restrict, versus just living even keel. They're always in a cycle, always in a pattern. It's a habit. So sometimes we quit for various reasons. What are the reasons you think that a person might quit? What are the reasons that a person might quit trying to lose weight? They're bored with the food that they're eating. Is it because their exercise is just like they're not seeing the results that they used to see? So in the very beginning, you know how exciting it is whenever you first start a diet and you get those big losses, and then you've been on a diet for a while, or just let me use been on a diet. Let me use the word diet freely here without having to get, harassed for the word diet, because there's just not a great way to say it. Oh, fear of failure or success. So common. You get to that point and then you just shut down. It's thing. It's a brain thing. It's a brain game. There are so many ways that so let's say fear of failure is success. But that really doesn't play so much into the boredom today, but that is a good reason. That is a good reason. Your stuff's ready. It's ready. Ready, ready, ready. Are you excited? It's ready. Anyway, so let's talk about ways that lack of self-esteem. Yeah, that's one too. Let's talk about ways that diets can become boring, monotonous, leading you to be disengaged and potential failure, because I think that we can get so bored so easily. So if we're eating the same old thing, same few meals on repeat, it can make us dread mealtime. We're just not excited about it. I think that variety is the spice of life. I'm always, you guys know me, I'm always doing new and different things, and meals that way are that way for me too. Well, but we are talking about reasons why people quit, but in the realm of boredom. So you are not incorrect, but it didn't flow with what I wanted to talk about. You're on a different week. You're on a different week altogether. So this week we're talking about boredom. Anyway, repetitive meals, lack of flavors, if your stuff is too bland, if it's unseasoned, blah, variety is the spice of life. And we can give variety in all different ways. And I'm not saying that the only way to give variety is from your food. I'm not saying that, but lack of flavors, lack of food, of new and exciting things, can be detrimental. Eating the same thing all the time can also be very beneficial. But so you have to think about you. Who are you? It's all about your self awareness. What works for you? Is it maybe that you're not so engaged with your weight loss because of your meals? It's just a question to ask yourself. It's just something for you to be aware of. Another way that we get kind of bored is with our routines. And I know, I talk about habits and routines, and I freaking love habits and routines. They're my jam. But strict meal plans, eating times, food windows, all of this stuff, it can sometimes, there's just no spontaneity in it. And there's no, it's just, it can make it kind of like a chore sometimes. Whenever you're like, oh my God, it's time to eat again. I know that there was a time when I was eating like 6 times a day. I felt like I was eating all the time, because I was focused on, oh my God, I got to eat 6 times a day. But like naturally, sometimes you do eat 6 times a day. I really don't. Mostly I eat 3. Sometimes I'll eat 4 times in a day, but 6, it just seemed like so many. But then I was focused on that number and that routine, and it just became so much. So rigid schedules, rigid, rigid food selection. So cutting things out completely and not having allowances for things that you adore. Limiting your food choices, food restrictions. When you cut out entire food groups, it can lead to food cravings. You can feel deprived. You can feel like you're being punished for something. I think that sometimes we don't often realize that that's a feeling that we have, that we're being punished for something. Did you ever have, whenever you were younger, did you ever not get dessert until you finished your food? You're being punished for something. That can translate later in life. That can show up in different ways later in life, to where these things fill an emotional need. An emotional need. Monotony of ingredients, using the same thing all the time, always eating chicken, just, oh my God, chicken, really? I can't chew the chicken anymore. Like I need some beef. I need something else. I need some fish, limiting our food choices. Another way, we're up to number 4. So we've done repetitive meals, routines, limited food choices. Number 4 on our list today, social isolation. If your way of weight loss is causing you to skip social gatherings, to avoid, so that if you're skipping these, social gatherings so that you avoid food temptations because you just don't feel like, whatever, that can lead to a lot of loneliness and also resentment. If you are not going out and doing these things, it's not going to feel good. It's not going to feel good. So I really encourage people, don't change your life. Just change the way that, there are a lot of tools and tips and tricks that we can learn. It's a learning process. You are just developing skills to live in the world slightly differently. Yeah, that's going to lead to boredom. If you're always trying to eat food that you don't like the food. How's it going to be exciting and fun? It's going to be terrible and punishment and boring and blah. And probably might even stop eating altogether. Who knows? So whenever we're eating differently from friends and family, it can definitely lead to us feeling bored and sad. And even it goes beyond bored. It goes way deeper. I could say culinary creativity, but I think that falls into the whole lack of flavor, limited food choices, repetitive meals things. Culinary creativity. This is a huge one. Do you know how many people out there do like low calorie recipes or keto recipes or all of these different things? So many people. There's no reason. If you are somebody who likes to be cooking or making, dishes or whatever, there's no reason why you can't. There's all this proof out there, is what I'm trying to say. There's all this proof out there. You just need to practice. You just need to do a little bit of learning. You just need to whatever. But there are so many things that you can make in every single genre of cooking. So don't let your eating plan tell you that you can't be creative in the kitchen, because it's an even better time to be creative in the kitchen. I think that trying new cuisines, trying new ingredients, trying new cooking methods, it keeps things really fun and exciting whenever you start trying new things out. Take some, like tuna, okay? Tuna is like super high in protein, great food. Just say my goal this week is to find a recipe that includes tuna and make something that I will enjoy and that my family will enjoy. And then you've got a challenge, and then that makes it exciting. It makes it fun. It's like, yeah, you're really engaged in trying it out. And at the same time, it helps to, just boost your engagement in what it is that you're doing. I think this live stream has proved I am boring. I love all those things. Good thing. I think I'm funny, so I don't get bored. But you have things that you do. I don't think that you're boring. I think maybe your food is boring. You eat the same things a lot, but I do think that you experiment a lot with the movement that you make, and that is good. I think that you also experiment with other things that keep you engaged. So, but some people, you know, are just boring eaters, and that's okay. That's okay too. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it. Mm. How about mental fatigue can lead you to getting bored? So, like for me, for instance, tracking food, tracking steps, tracking sleep, tracking water, tracking. I just and track. Oh my God, I'm so bored with tracking. Like, here I go again. Another type it in, do, look it up. What did I do? Well, it gets boring. It's not fun after a while. Steps are exciting whenever you first, get your tracker and you haven't tracked your steps, and then you're like, oh my gosh, I only get 3,000 steps a day. What? And then you challenge yourself to get more steps. And then you're like, oh, cool, that feels good. I can do it. And then maybe you set a goal that's a little bit too high. You're like, that's really, really hard, but I think I can do it. And so you keep trying and you do it. But after a while, that it can get boring. Just trying to just up your steps all the time. It can get really boring. Just trying to see how many squats you can do in a minute can get boring after a while. If all you're doing day after day, every single day, how many squats can I do in a minute? How many squats can I do in a minute? Oh, it's Tuesday, squats. Wednesday, squats. Thursday, squats. Friday. Aren't you bored just listening to me talk about how many squats I can do in a minute? It's boring. It gets boring. We get just fatigued. We got to change it up. We can't do the same thing all the time. We can't so ask yourself, is the reason because it's not because you can't do it. It's not because you're not capable. It's because you're bored. It's because you're just not interested, because it's just not fun. It's just not exciting. That's why we jump from, let me do Weight Watchers one moment, let me do keto the next moment, and let me do dirty keto over there the minute after that. And now I'm going to do this other thing. And then I'm going to do 360, I don't know. Now I'm going to do 75 hard and blah, blah, blah. Because we get bored. We get bored. We're human. We're human. We get bored. It's okay to get bored. So we just got to find ways. And number one, we need to be aware of that it's just boredom, because I don't think I hear that enough as a reason. I don't hear a lot of people saying, well, I just got bored. Have you heard people say that? Well, I got bored. I quit my diet because I was bored. It wasn't fun anymore. It was boring. So sometimes if we are just worn out, if we're fatigued, if we are not at our best, it can make all of this just feel like a drag. Like it's just bleh. Whatever, like whenever you get depressed or slightly sad or something, how your interest in things goes down. It's kind of like that. It's just something to be aware of. It's just that is not causing anything. It's just well, maybe it is causing something. That's not the right words that I'm looking for. It's a symptom. It's just a symptom, is what I'm trying to say. Discipline can be boring, but there's a way that we can apply that discipline in a different way that makes it not boring. So if we're using discipline, and we're very disciplined people, because some people really value being disciplined and they're really good at being disciplined. There's nothing wrong with that. But sometimes the discipline that you're saying is boring. It's too routine. It's too monotonous. And you have to change up that discipline. So that's one of the things about the change of seasons that I think is really great here where I live, because we have 4 seasons. My exercise is not going to look the same whenever we've got awesome weather outside as it will whenever we've got way too hot or way too cold. When it's way too hot or way too cold, I'm going to be inside doing my exercise. And whenever it's, really nice outside, I'm going to be outside. So I can still be disciplined, but I don't get bored because the change of season allows for that change in exercise routine. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Yeah. So changing it up. Notice how you're feeling about it. If you're feeling, not excited, where at one point you were excited, maybe you just need a change in what it is that you're doing. Maybe you need to change routine, repeating the same workout over and over again. It can lead to burnout or just, where's your enthusiasm? You're just not enthused. And also when we're doing the same workouts over and over again, do you think that's effective? Do you think it's effective to do the same workout on repeat? It's not effective. We need to be making sure that we're doing different exercises in different ways so that we're working out our full body. And it also helps our brain too, whenever we do different exercises in different ways. Varied activities. It makes things so much more exciting when we vary our activities. So much more excited. Another thing is lack of personalization. You're you. Be that awesome individual person that you are. Do it your way. My friend Sarah, Lose Weight Sarah, she did it her way. Do it your way. You make up the rules. As long as they're working, they're not a bad rule. But make sure that you don't try and put yourself into a box and fit into a one-size-fits-all plan. There's no one-size-fits-all plan that works for everybody. You've got to make room for the way you like your schedule to be, the way you like, your eating preferences, the way that you like your exercise to be, whatever it is. Be aware. Why is this not working out? Oh, it's because I am a person who blah, blah, blah. So this week, I hope that you will, think about one of these things. Is it time to, try something new to eat, to try some new ingredients, to cook things a little bit differently? Is it time to switch up maybe when you eat? Maybe you're a strict, and if I go at your house or wherever, follow you around, you eat at 8:00 every single day. Lunchtime is always at 12:15 and dinner is always at 5:42. I don't know, but maybe it's time to switch that up a little bit. Maybe it's too routine, too habit. Engage in social eating. We need to be able to find a way to hang out with the people that we love and have weight loss success, maintenance success, weight wellness, because being social is part of life. If you are avoiding socialization until you get to your goal weight, you're doing it wrong. You need to learn it on the way down. That's the one time I'm going to tell you you're doing it wrong. If you're avoiding social situations in order to be strict and to get to your goal weight, you're doing it wrong. I'm going to put it. Yep. I believe in that 1000%. Creative workouts. And maybe this week you need to get in a creative workout. Maybe you need to switch things up, do something new. Do you need to go swimming? Do you need to go, play basketball? Do you need to, I don't know what it is. Do something different. Learn something new. Try something you've never done before. It makes it so much more fun, so much more exciting. And you might have a new favorite out there that you didn't even know about. You never know until you try. Like I had no idea I would like lifting weights. Like I had no idea. And then I did it and I liked it. And I was shocked. 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 Anyway, we gotta keep it from being boring. If you notice you're not getting weight loss results like you used to, if you notice that you are not being as disciplined as you once were, ask yourself, is this because I'm bored? Is it because I'm just bored with what I'm doing? And how can I switch it up? What can I do differently? So ponder on these things for just a minute and I will be back, but I gotta play this.
Sometimes I make this life thing harder than it needs to be. Not dead yet, true shit. So why do I worry about what I can see? I was stressing about money for my rent, but the money that I spent last night with my friends was worth it. Sometimes I make this life thing harder than it needs to be. So many lights, with us tonight, night. Don't let them go to waste. Look into
Okay, whatever. Hi, I hope you guys, all your journaling done in that short break that we took for that. One thing that I've been trying to incorporate into every week is how this plays into our identity and our beliefs, because our identity and our beliefs they're going to impact everything. Everything. How you view yourself can affect your motivation, your engagement with the diet. If you see yourself as someone who struggles with weight, you might find it harder to stay committed. So part of it is changing our mindset. If you've always said, oh man, I always struggle with my weight. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're probably right. So if you think that you're a person who always struggles with their weight, you're going to be right. We need to start working on that thought. We need to change that. There are ways to change those thoughts. And I've talked about changing our thoughts numerous times. So check out one of those videos on thought change, but you can change your thoughts. If you are a person who identifies as foodie, or if you're a person who maybe you're a busy professional and you just don't have time for all this stuff because you're just, busy, being boss babe out there. Sometimes, we can tell ourselves a story that keeps us from achieving the things that we want to achieve. I know a lot of people just say that, oh, well, I just can't drink my water because I'm a XYZ. And it's like, is that true? Or is that just a story you're telling yourself? So our self-perception and our identity can really have an effect on that. So can our beliefs about food and eating. So if in our background, there's certain dietary preferences or restrictions. If our diet isn't taking into consideration these things, it can make us feel alone and isolated and alienated. And that's not going to be good for our success, because when it comes to that, we're not going to want to feel that. So if our diet makes us feel isolated, alone, alienated, the easier thing to do is quit versus continue on. So we need to find a way to allow that in so we don't have those feelings of loneliness and isolation, alienation. So, another thing coming down to identity and beliefs is our um, our motivation and our purpose. Our motivation and our purpose. So, our why. Sometimes people want to lose weight because of extrinsic motivation, the things that are outside of us, social pressure, trends, whatever it is, because society thinks you should be one way. And whenever you're trying to make someone else happy, it's very easy to get bored or disengaged, not want to do it because it's not for the right reasons. But whatever it's, you know, something that is along with your values and with your goals, with something that you believe deeply in. When you believe in yourself, your worth, your I believe I deserve to live a long and healthy life. There are all kinds of different things. Phil, anybody want to, throw a sentence in there about that? But if we believe in performance or longevity or our health, or when those are things that we value, that we put a lot of, emphasis in, it makes it so much easier, so much easier. Those big intrinsic things. You're less likely to get bored whenever you're thinking about it in those terms. So another thing about identity and beliefs is past experiences and habits. These past experiences and habits, they can shape our beliefs about food, about weight loss. We're like back to the whole weight loss is so hard. I always struggle at losing weight, blah, blah, blah. We've had a negative experience in the past, which if you're my age, you probably have. If you're, currently trying to lose weight, you probably had a previous experience that wasn't all rainbows and sunshine. But your brain stores that away and it's thinking, here we go again. So they can just lead to these negative thoughts. They can make it feel like it's tedious, it's boring, it's hard, it's all these things that just, it's boring. It's boring, boring, boring. It's not fun. I have so much more fun when I'm not on a diet. That's not true. You can change the future at any time. You can write a new story. You make the rules. You make the rules. Not your old self, not your past self. You, today, you make the rules. If you want weight loss to be fun, you know what? You can make weight loss fun. You can make it exciting. You can make it a great experience. You can also decide that it's boring and hard. The choice is yours. It's really a choice. It's a choice. You're making a choice. So, our mindset and psychological factors. Here we go. So, what I just said, you need to believe that you can change. You need to believe that you can change. You need to believe that you can improve. If you don't believe that you can change, just believe that you can improve. I can improve. If you don't believe that you can change, just believe that you can improve because you can. And then one day you're going to look back on it and you're going to say, wow, I really changed. And then you can believe that you can change. So let's just twist that around a little bit and let's think about anything that you had to improve. Did you ever have to improve your handwriting? And then over time you worked on it and you did improve your handwriting? Well, guess what? You changed. So there's proof that you can change. So you can change. So stop saying you can't change because you can change. You got me? You got me? You can change. If you think you're bad at dieting, you're going to be bad. So I can improve at it. I can be good at it. I can believe in myself. Let's do that, okay? Okay? All right. So I'm having fun today. Are you guys having fun? I hope you're having fun. If you're enjoying this, like I said, this is like one of my favorite things. Your social identity and community. So if you're part of a community like this one here that we have, we also have similar goals, it can really help with your motivation. It can help reduce your boredom with whenever we have, shared experiences and all of this stuff. It helps. It helps us in so many ways. It helps us to feel kind of like we're in sync. Whenever when we're out of sync with the people that we hang out with, it doesn't feel as good and it doesn't make things as exciting. So our social identity in our community, take a look at how do I feel whenever I'm around, a lot of times we have like 2 or 3 circles of friends that we, hang out with. How do I feel around this circle of friends? Do I feel like I can be me and who I want to be? Because maybe that social circle isn't the best place for you to be. And maybe you need to hang out with one of your other social circles a little bit more, because that one's it's not boosting where you want to go in life. And speaking of that, your goals and aspirations. You need to have clear goals, meaningful goals that help you to be motivated and engaged. Sometimes we don't have those, and that's what leads to the boredom, because we don't really know what we're working towards. It's not clear. But when we have it very clear, then it's a little bit easier to be engaged in that. And that's why I think that the smaller the goal can also be better, because we want achievable goals in a short amount of time. When, you think about, oh my God, I got 100 pounds to lose and how much time that might take, that's just daunting. But when you think about just losing 1 pound, I want to lose 1 pound. And then you celebrate the dickens out of that 1 pound. That's pretty cool, because losing 1 pound can happen pretty fast. And it feels good to celebrate. And it's awesome. Every single one, big celebration. And then before you know it, you've got them all done. So clear goals, smaller goals, I think are better. So just understand what your motivations are. Why is my phone buzzing at me? So we just talked about 7 different things that you can do. So reflect on your why, personalize your diet, make sure that meaningful goals, make sure that you have a growth mindset, have a supportive community, be flexible. Being flexible very much helps, and seek enjoyment. Find joy. Find the joy. Find the joy in the recipes and the foods that you're eating. Find the joy in your routine. Find the joy in the movement that you're doing. Find the joy. This is really a joyful thing. It's life. It's just life. It can be joyful and exciting and fun and awesome and amazing. So seek enjoyment. Think about how these things play into your current identity and your current beliefs. Do you need to change any of those? So pick one of those things that you really, you're nodding your head to, oh yeah. Or, something that sparks your curiosity. Think about those, write about them. And we're going to be back in 1 short minute.
Eyes, it's gonna be alright.
Oh man, come on. Here we go. Oh wait. Okay, so we got to plan for the future because that's the most important part of the ritual is planning for the future. So what are we gonna do this week to make weight loss fun and engaging and exciting and not ho hum and boring and I just don't even care. Here we go again. What are we gonna do to make it fun? What are we gonna do? Let me know. Put it in the chat. I need to know. What are we gonna do? Are we changing up what we're gonna eat? Or we're gonna try a new recipe? Are we gonna try a new workout? Are we gonna try to work out at a different time? What are we gonna do? What is it? What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? I think that I will commit to trying a new workout tomorrow and a new recipe on Wednesday. That's going to be my commitment. I'm going to new workout tomorrow and a new recipe on Wednesday. What are you going to do? What commitment are you going to make to yourself? You got to type it in so I can hold you accountable. How else am I going to hold you accountable to this? Type it in. Anyway, that's it. I want to thank you guys for watching either with me live or on the replay. I appreciate you very, very, very much. Don't get bored. Do something fun. Do something exciting. Be curious and stay determined. Be you. And until next time, keep writing, keep exploring, and keep losing those pounds. I'll see you in the next one. As always, what is it? It's going to be, what is it going to be? It's going to be an adventure, right? It's going to be an adventure. I'll see you guys. Thank you again so much. So very much. Mm-hmm.